Let's call to order the Public Works meeting here on, what is it, October 27th. It's 1 p.m. And I guess first, do we have a quorum?
Yes, we do.
All right, very good, thank you. And our first item is to approve of minutes from September 29th. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion, gentlemen? None? If I could ask for a vote, all in favor of approval of the minutes, say aye.
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 Any opposed? It's all approved, Bev. And we had a special meeting on October 12th that we must look at the minutes. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Corrections?
When we do vote, I will abstain because I was not here.
I could say, why not, but I won't
I know,
embarrass you.
I appreciate
Okay,
that.
I'll do that. All right. One abstention, all in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 20-1 then, Beverly, thank you. And Mr. Nail, thank you for joining us. You want to resurface part of a parking lot that you guys did a great job in talking that private company into allowing us to use that for a long period of time, that without that bequest by the owners of that building, we would not have North Point today. So,
That is correct, yeah, so, action item number
three.
3, thank you. It is a RFQ acceptance, so, just to give a little background, I think the mayor, did a good job summarizing it, but this is the campus at Westfield. You can see from the aerial, this is actually during construction of East Street. We utilized, their private parking lot for access up to Bastion Court when we are constructing portions of East Street. And they agreed to allow us to use their parking lot, provided that we came back through and brought it up to as good or better condition than when we received it for access. So we reached out to 3 paving companies to get quotes for the work. The paving limits are essentially from the property line here where East Street ties into their parking lot up to the edge of their parking lot there, where it'll go back to a parking lot aisle now that East Street is open and functioning. We reached out to 3 paving companies. We got quotes back from 2. The third one was Reith Riley and just respectfully declined. They had plenty of paving they need to get focused on completing by the end of the year this year and didn't want to provide a quote. I did talk to a couple other paving companies. Once Reith Riley declined, they had similar things where they've got a lot of work and they don't want to provide a quote. So we did get 2 good quotes. Midwest Paving, who's done plenty of work for the city in the past, at $118,466 and $466.24, and then E&B Paving at $131,000. To give some context, my engineer's estimate was about $125,000. So Midwest Paving was below the engineer's estimate and has agreed to complete this work before the end of the year. So I would just ask that that you all accept the RFQ so that Midwest can complete this work and we can hold up our end of the deal with this private company who was so kind to allow us to use their access for this project.
Thank you very much, John, and I would so move to accept your bid.
I just have a question.
Yeah, let me get a move in a second,
Okay.
and we'll, is there a second to that motion?
Second.
All right, do we have questions?
Yes. So it's a resurfacing project. Is the roadway, I guess it's fine just to resurface that?
Yeah,
The
so
condition wasn't in the best last time I drove that.
It's
so
not.
I just have to ask.
so it's a deep resurface, so we're actually milling off 4 inches, which is essentially all the asphalt that's out there, and
Okay.
replacing 4 inches. So they're, in essence, getting a new parking lot aisle in those limits.
Okay.
So certainly better than we got it, and better condition than when you last drove it.
Then-
So it's a deep mill and resurface.
Okay. Will that then be a private road for,
Yep.
we'll close it off to public access?
Yep, yeah, and we just, we had an access easement to utilize it for the East Street project. That easement essentially disappears once the project is complete, so it goes back to being purely private property.
All right, very good, thank you.
I only had one quick question. When it comes to when they do this, typically it has to be a specific temperature usually, right?
Mhm.
So when it comes to the temperature wise, is there anything where, God forbid, that we can't get it done by the end of the year based on temperature?
Yeah, we always, this time of year, we always get developers who are in
Yeah.
the same boat where they're trying to get things paved and temperatures don't cooperate. So for the first lift, the 2.5 or 3 inches that we're putting in first, we only need we only need above freezing, 32
Okay.
degrees or higher to get that paved. And so I feel pretty confident that we'll have temperatures to allow that. The
Gotcha.
surface layer is a 45 degree or higher
Okay.
temperature that we need to have. Fortunately, it looks like we are going to get some warmer temperatures in
Okay,
early
good.
November from what I've seen from the forecast. However, if for some reason temperatures don't allow, I'll certainly talk with this with the business owner and make sure they're comfortable with us coming back and surfacing in the springtime when we do have
Perfect.
temperatures.
I just wanted to double check, making sure we're not obligated to
Yeah.
anything like that. with
We
temperature.
we could always surface it below 45 degrees if they're willing to accept it. I just
Right,
wouldn't
right.
recommend that they do because
Yeah.
we wouldn't accept it as a city either. So
Correct. Okay, just
that
double check.
would be a conversation we'll have if it comes to it.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. Any further questions, gentlemen?
No, sir.
All right, we have a motion and a second, and I would ask for a vote. All in favor of allowing Public Works to proceed with this project, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I hear none. Next item up is our consent agenda. Do I hear a motion on our consent agenda?
I move to accept the October bond information as listed.
I'll second.
And is our meeting schedule a part of this consent agenda? It appears so. Any questions on that? Patricia, you happy with that schedule?
I am, other than I just noticed that I forgot to change the year on the very last date.
Well, then we'll just do this year again.
But I will review that.
So it's, meeting schedule is for 2022.
Perfect.
Very good. Any questions on the consent agenda?
No, sir.
Did we motion and second that?
Yes.
We motioned the bond. Do we want to motion the consent agenda?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
And a second?
Second.
All right, voice vote. All in favor of the consent agenda, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? 3-0. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. Rob Gaylor.
Yes, sir.
You have anything you want to tell us about our fire department?
Well, the fire department's up training at the training facility today. This is day number 2 for our live fire.
Is this out at River Road?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I understand there's a move afoot to further progress with the long-term plans for the facility.
There is. We're working behind the scenes with some people doing maybe some water project out there to get some water on site. So that's still in the mix and in
Good.
the process.
Good. Well, the county council and the county commissioners are interested in further developing that site for our police and our fire, I understand, including a shooting range. You ever heard of such a thing, Chief Rush? Huh? Be great. Rob, thank you. Chief Rush, may we hear from you?
Yeah, just give you a little update on where we're at with our hiring. start interviews on 15th and 16th. We have 3 current openings for 21, and now, since the budget was approved, we have 3 more openings for 22. So, all those that we have hired this year are all trained in solo cars. Like I said, we have 3 more to hire, but we've pretty much exhausted our current list, so we start another process and hope to find 6 good candidates for that total.
Very good. Gentlemen, have any questions for our police or fire?
No,
sir.
thank you.
All right. John Nail, about ready to close out the year with your
I'll
projects?
come up and talk. Yeah, we are. So obviously we're gearing up. Snow will be here before we know it, I'm sure, on the street department side. We have several projects ongoing right now. 169th and Spring Mill. We've had an unseasonably wet October, so a lot of rain. We are a couple days behind on that project, but the contractor's doing a great job trying to get caught up to stay on schedule for that roundabout. Still going to be opening in November on that project. We awarded 161st and Union to E&B Paving, doing some preliminary work with them to see what kind of work we can be doing in the spring to get that project going strong and open as quickly as possible. And then 161st and Oak Roundabout will be following right after that late next year in 2022. So some roundabout projects ongoing. We are wrapping up resurfacing for the year through several neighborhoods in the city, trying to beat those cold temperatures to finish up that work. And just as far as upcoming projects, we did submit 2 projects to the MPO call for projects application. That's, as a reminder, the federal funding. What was the federal funding we'd received from the MPO for various projects each year. That's now a state-funded program, but regardless, we still submit projects. We submitted 2. The first one we submitted was 181st and Wheeler Roundabout, and then the second project we submitted was a roundabout connecting 191st, 193rd, Horton, and Spring Mill. I can actually show you that on the GIS. Just northwest of Grand Park, future roundabout that we submitted for funding. The county highway department also agreed to go 50-50 on cost sharing on that project, which is perhaps makes the project a little more attractive to the MPO. We'll see on that, but we'll see if we get funding. It'll be a highly competitive process. It's been 2 years now. We haven't had a call for projects because of the change in the program, and so I've been told at least that there was probably double the number of projects we typically see in a call for projects. So it'll be highly competitive, but we put our best foot forward and we'll hope for the best. Any other specific questions, Mayor, on projects?
No, I think you had a pretty aggressive resurface program. You're wrapping that up. You got everything painted?
Yeah, striping, certainly everything we can. Once we, some of the resurface stuff, we may need to come back through and stripe next year depending on temperatures.
Yeah.
Again, there's temperature constraints with thermoplastic as well. So fingers crossed for some more warm weather, through the month of November, and we'll get these projects wrapped up.
And how about the big project, how it's coming?
032?
Actually, it
Or
was
Grand Junction Plaza?
Grand Junction.
Okay. There's 2 big projects downtown.
Yep.
We'll talk about Grand Junction Plaza. It's going really well. You've probably driven through lately, and some of the construction fences come down. You can kind of see into the park and see what it's going to look like. Almost all the landscaping is in at this point. Still need to do. They're going to do some sodding in the Great Lawn, starting likely weather dependent tomorrow, Friday, somewhere in there. Getting some of the sodding down, and so we're still on track to have that project complete by the end of the year. Wilhelm, again, has done a great job on that project, working through any design issues and so forth. So really proud of that project. They've done a great job staying on schedule despite some of the weather challenges here in October, and looking forward to getting that thing opened. And then, yeah, 32, progressing. We are working through some utility relocation items, as well as there'll be a pretty large box culvert going through that we're working with the county surveyor on some coordination with that. So moving forward on schedule.
How you coming with the 3 or 4 elusive Duke poles? Any progress with that?
Yeah, they've changed their design to accommodate the couple of poles that were going to be problematic. And we are in the process of talking to businesses on the north side about potential rewiring issues. I know
Okay.
we discussed that. Some of the board members perhaps weren't involved in that stakeholder coordination meeting most recently, but we are working through some of those items, and Duke has done a good job of being responsive.
All right,
So
so it's coming along.
it's coming along.
All right. And lastly, the Jersey Street new terrain, how's that coming?
This Jersey Street Extension
Yeah.
project. Good. So we're going through the acquisition process through the appraisals and offers right now. Once we get that right of way secured, we can kind of move to a construction bid. So still moving along. We were, I think, delayed a little bit just with some right of way acquisition type items, but moving forward accordingly on that project as well.
Very good. Any other questions, gentlemen?
Nope, that's great.
All right.
Thanks for the updates.
Thank you, John. I think that completes our business.
Yes, sir.
Would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? We're done. Thank you.